And that intro is correct. The Summer Cup is here, well past. We started July 1st with Exodus, Phoenix pulling in the upset against Parabellum. We are here on July 4th, finalizing the first week of the Summer Cup. And after way too long, I am joined once again by Mono, the goose to my my Maverick, my wingman. How's it going, Mono? How you been since the Greyhound Cup?
Good. Well, yeah, I've had some internet issues, some computer issues as well. So I'm hoping everything works now. Hopefully everything is recording correctly and stuff. I really like the summer 80s graphic over there. Very World War II inspired.
I love it, Miami Vice style. Yeah, I do appreciate the Miami Vice style. But
I don't know when we're going to get some Florida maps on Hella Loose, but I'm excited.
Be careful. It might be a little too topical. A little, Miami, some buildings collapsing, some evolution there. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I know you've been excited to get back into competitive and see what we got going on. And this is actually an interesting matchup. What we got. Let's go ahead and go right into what the teams are. We'll talk a little bit specifically about this matchup. So if this is the first Summer Cup match you're catching, this is actually formatted because summer, a little more people go outside, COVID restrictions lifting across the world. So it was really paired as get two communities to work together and see what they got. So actually, if you notice, Pi and STB, who were the co-champions of the Greyhound Cup, are actually now on separate teams. Pi is with who we're going to see here, the 104th, and then the community host, 91st Panzer. Okay, once again, I apologize up front. It's all German. Don't ask me why they put the American and not Das Alberg on all the German teams. So this is going to be fun. I've already had people messaging me, be like, "Hey, Inchon, we can't wait to see how you slaughter our names. It's going to come." But anyway, 91st and 38th paired up. And that's what we're getting. And since it's 10 teams, it's kind of, we're going through a group stage. This is actually going to be a Swiss knockout system. And if you're unfamiliar with that, really what it means is that each week is important to determine who your next match is for the following week. And each point you hold on to is important. And this is a format we haven't seen in the Winter Seasonal. We didn't see it in the Greyhound Cup. It's a 3-2 or a 2-3 loss is not nearly as detrimental as an 0-5 because those two caps that you defended will carry forward. And ultimately, each week, you see who's got the most cap points, re-rack them, stack them. We're going to go through this a few times, and then we'll get to a seeding for a knockout elimination tournament. And I actually like this point. It's... Yeah, I like the fact that a 2-3 loss is weighted heavier as far as the quality of loss, if that makes sense. Than an 0-5. On the backside, I like that a 3-2 win doesn't get as much credit as a 5-0. And when we get into the other weeks on this, it's not like, this team's just going to be steamrolling on this team. It's really going to kind of put those kind of skill sets there. Go ahead, Mono.
No. It's a really interesting format, I think. That's gonna, create some interesting, it's gonna force people to be maybe more aggressive, which should translate into better matches.
Well, and we actually saw this. If you caught Thursday's battle to kick off the Summer Cup, Phoenix and Exodus actually lost town outskirts as the allies, got it back about 17 minutes left in the game, and just not content eternally, they actually pushed to the fourth point and got that fourth point with 3 minutes left. So I like that. It gives that incentive. We talked about some of the matches. If you're joining us right now, this, like I said, is the kicking off the first match for July 4th, shout out on Independence Day or Brexit 1776. We'll go try and get all the American memes in there on the British that are watching. But this night is for the Germans. Anyway, starting us off, and then Das Alberg will picking this up with 82nd AD versus 116th and STB. Once again, 116th hosted the Greyhound Cup, STDB co-champions with Pi. That's, I'm sure, is going to be a great match. But we're here on probably one of the favorite maps, Saint Marie Igles.
Yeah.
Saint Marie.
I love this map, dude. I love playing it. I love seeing matches in it. I think the matches we've seen have always been interesting here. yeah, it is one of my favorite maps in the game for sure.
Yeah, well, I think, obviously the fight around Chapel, up there on Hospice, the kind of the city match or the city combat really shines through, especially in a competitive environment. It allows for amazing individual gameplay, play the game type moments. We have the replay on. We're going to try and catch as many of those as we can. We also got 2 point of views from our teammates in there, if you will. Mono's going to be on an admin cam. This is the 3rd match in 4 days. I apologize, guys.
It's okay.
Anyway, we got on there. For time's sake, we're going to be getting into the battle here a little bit. Let's just jump right to the keys to success. Because this is a city map, even town outskirts, even checkpoint down at the bottom, it's really important. Control the key buildings and lines of movement. If you can box your opponent into a certain sector and really contain them in there, it's going to allow you to move around, destroy them. Mobility of armor can come into play here. Talk about armor, Mono. What I was going to say, we've seen it. Infantry and armor work great on this map.
Yeah, it's really hard for armor, to go into town. But if so, depending on which flags you get, it can be tougher or easier on the armor. There's some really good spots we saw being used in the south side on checkpoint, being able to shoot at either flag south of there. Overall, coordination between and communication between infantry and armor, like letting the armor know where precisely a tank is, trying to distract that tank so the armor can get the kill. That's really important in competitive matches.
And and the middle points, especially the middle and the top middle point on this map, the town isn't so big. It's not a Carentan to where armor can't influence the sides of it, especially up there on north in that wheat field. So I really want to see which team works the best with their armor and infantry. And then probably one of the biggest ones is smart garrison placement with the city. If you put down a garrison just out of convenience, you could really wind up screwing over the next point within that 200 locking distance. So the team that's able to get as many garrisons into the active sector as dense as possible, because there's only these nooks and crannies in here, it really shows maturity of a competitive team. So we're just a bit kicking off. Mono, what midpoint do you want to see?
I want to see Hospice. I think we've had Chapel. We've had matches on Chapel. We've had a match on Checkpoint. I don't think we've had a match on Hospice yet that I've been on. So I would really like to see Hospice. Though, what I want to see the most is a highly irregular, like strong points across the map, so they're not in the same line.
You want that movement.
Yes, I want the second one to be north, the other point, the middle point in the south, and then the other one all the way on the other side. That creates some very really interesting matches where you have to control all the map and not just like a small sector.
Indeed, and I think one thing that's key about it is that the actual mechanics of the game, because you get those active sectors that kind of offset there. You just don't have a defender that all of a sudden walks and becomes an attacker when it comes to cap pressure. So it really makes more of a balanced point. We're going to get into the match here. I'm not going to lie. I just want to see a satchel. I just want to see the satchel in the town here. I want to see, a 10 kill satchel. But we're going to be kicking it off here. We're loading into the game right now. And those are all sectored. I'm going to be covering on 38th and 91st here.
It's Hospice.
It is Hospice. Ask and you shall receive.
Yep. And we got an irregular, not a straight line.
Well, you got straight line. We're going to look at this right now. You got straight line for Pi and 104th there. So let's go ahead and fly over these points. We'll pick it up here. Crossroads is our point here. They're going all the way back closest to the Americans, or 38th and 91st defense. We'll talk that back more if we get to that. I guarantee 91st and 38th don't want us to get into it. Cemetery, I really do like this point. Cemetery, it can get into some very close upfront fighting. good avenues coming from the north. And this is what we're going to see right now as we're flying over this area. A minute left in the warm-up period. Between hospice, hospice and cemetery, the fighting in this stretch of buildings gets very intense. However, expect because of the transport truck is on the north side for 38th and 91st that they will be taking hospice first. If they get that, they're going to be lined up nicely to get into Route du Haras here. This will be their 4th point, or Pies and 104's 2nd point. And then you can see it all the way on the back there, flak position.
Show my screen for a second, because what 104 and Pi are doing here at their HQ to defend their arty is something that I don't think I've ever seen. They're building a lot of defenses around this point to make it, as annoying as possible for the enemy sniper team to be able to get in here.
That's smart. Using every little bit of that warm-up period as they can. Yep. So anyway, warm-up period is done. Trucks are off. We've got, we're going to go ahead and pick up a transport truck for Pi at 104th. No surprise here. Actually, look at this. Look at this. This is the supply truck. Homeboy is running the top side of it. They actually got 3 people to move up on that supply truck. One in the passenger, and then Ober riding actually on the canopy. That right there, that's maximum efficiency.
Yeah.
So we're flying right now. Let's go ahead and go to the map side by side. See how everybody's lining up here. So opening play, no surprise. Supply truck coming down that main route. Transport truck actually getting a little bit of a slow start. Not too often you see the supply.
And 38 and 91 are definitely a bit late getting their start there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you got first garrison goes down for Pi and 104th. And actually, they start the cap first.
Oh, this is something. They've built a garrison by the church area to push from the south into hospice. That might work or might backfire spectacularly, because that might take people away from the active cap sectors more than it should.
Yep, so right now, 38th and 91st just gets the cap control. I want to go ahead and highlight out here a little bit of this key area, key buildings. When I talked about key buildings on the in-game, it's really these kind of sectors right here, both between these 2-3 stories, specifically with the strong point. We're going to more or less throw a strong point right around circle right there. That building right there in the center here is so key for them to hold. Really want to make sure we see who's going to get out of that. But interesting, Pi and 104th going a little bit on the north side for the wheat field, a little bit on the south side, as 38th and 91st go straight into the middle. So
yeah, and cap is starting to go to 38 right now. They seem to have, they've definitely taken that 3-story building that's by the strong point, which is it's a very key building to take control of early on. And I'm surprised we were talking about the garrisons down south on the church. That might be why they weren't able, why the Germans weren't able to take this building faster, even though they got here quicker. They got here before the Allies.
Well, and this one,
38.
And there is a valid strategy to just say we're going to go for the recap. We're going to go map control first and box them in. So we're actually looking right now from the northwest to the southeast on the map here, and you can see that Pi and 104th is taking map control of the south. They really have it onto the south side. The question is, are they going to be able to redeploy those OPs, get it set up? But we are just seconds away.
There's a Tiger up north. There we go. He realized that there's a Sherman now. That Tiger just strolled into there, and we were talking earlier about communication between armor, and nice shot there on the tracks.
Yep, that's going to go ahead and take that.
Yeah, obviously the Tiger's going to beat a 75 almost any day, but this Tiger rolled in, and if that Sherman had fired sooner, this would have been a different story, because this Tiger rolled in and had absolutely no idea there was a tank on the street.
Yeah, but we
And
just
there's
saw
still
an
76 there.
just saw an explosion in the left side of the screen. Ooh! We got one. Tiger's now rolling out, realizing he doesn't have any infantry support. But what he does have is 2 AT players. Commander gets out of the Tiger, looking to defend it as best as he can. Let's see if he gets over here. Skilled Panda. Oh, Commander gets back into the tank. Tiger actually gets
That
one
Tiger's
through
gonna go
the.
down.
Oh, no. He hits one of the AT.
Maybe not. He's
Now
gonna
Seer-
repair, and now he's,
Oh.
now he's.
Oh, Seer gets it.
Oh wow!
The Tiger stands. Seer says, I think it's time to get back in. Great individual play there by that tank crew. Doing
Yeah,
everything
being
that
able to fend off 2 ATs, man.
yeah.
Wow.
And now look at this. Look at this. Pyan 104th now controlling that 3-story building, controlling all the cap circle as that southern attack is now getting some cap pressure, but it's stalled as only 4 pies are in that area. And
There's more coming. There's more coming. But they are playing quite defensively. There's a lot of people falling back to root
Yep.
instead of pushing straight into hospice. They've now lost hospice.
So looking at this, we got in the 3-story building. Mon, I'm going to switch over to you, see what you're seeing here.
I'm seeing the entrance here onto hospice. Pi and oh man, between all the numbers, Pi and 104 are do have a garrison right at the border. I'm going to show that on the map right here. They do have a garrison to attack, but they're not really pushing. Most of the people that spawned went back to root instead of pushing towards hospice. They might try to consolidate down south and, get some defenses going and stuff, and then start attacking again.
And we got the 3-story building in here, starting to get a little action. Atonement looking to defend, but actually he's not able to get it as, well, he's moving around too quick. Nope, not going to try that German name. Kerbosi 111337 Leet. All right, we're gonna go with that. K-Dog clears out the building, and that tiger finally go down. Looks like he did, right there on that echo mark on the left side of the screen. So
you want to do a map side by side, see what garrison placements we have?
That's a good call. Let's bring it up.
Well, I can tell you for sure where a garrison is because I just saw a hell lot of people spawn. So they have on the German side, they're gonna set up 3 garrisons around this line. You can barely see your map on the Discord screen.
Well, let me go ahead. Let me put it out here. So, actually, I'm really liking what 38th and 91st have as far as both their garrisons and OPs. So I see a total of 5 OPs up, 3 in the back. Actually, 4 in cemetery, and only 1 in hospice. Would like to see maybe a little bit more on the south side. Let's zoom in. Yep. And so they're got it covered. But look at their OP distribution between all these. They really have a good net to determine, where activity's coming from, things of that nature. Obviously, I think they know that down south. We saw that Pi on 104th really took coverage of that, so it explains why they don't have it there. Looking at this now, though, Recon... Actually, no, sorry, this is a straight squad. Ragnar has a 100 supply drop, might be getting a red zone garrison. Do you see any... I'm not seeing any red zone garrisons for Pi on 104th?
No, nothing here so far. If they could take hold of the church a bit more, they could definitely get a garrison over there. But it seems like they are getting into hospice, and we should be seeing a lot of town fighting right now.
Yep, we just saw that northern garrison get established, what I nicknamed as the pizza slice, up here on the north side.
Yeah. That's the classic one.
Yep. And the reason why I call that the pizza slice, if you look at this, you got the map edge right there. You got a little bit of crust. And then you got that nice, long New York style floppy pizza right there. Okay. I didn't eat, guys.
Following Badini. Oh, he's dead.
And he's dead. The curse of the admin cam strikes again.
Yeah.
Back and forth fighting, because now look who's in this 3-story. In fact, they got an OP down, and as soon as Rapper and Malk spawn in, they get a little cap progress. So that's 5 from 104th and Pi that are now inside the strong point. Remember, strong points count for a time stream multiplier. Here comes a bombing run that's going to be effective. Woo!
Oh, that took out their garrison that they had behind those houses. Oh, or is it still up?
No, it's still up.
It's still up.
It went on the
Missed
main
it
road
by 10 meters.
Yeah, but look now. Those OPs, smart OPs here by 104th and Pi. Orange dots popping up everywhere. Blue dots, lights going out. And we are at 1/3 cap for Pi and 104th. Remember, the 38th and 91st did get this point after a little bit of contention at the beginning, but relatively smooth. And Pi and 104th really went for the map control. We see all these blue dots now coming in from the west side. I want to see my satchel. Who's got a satchel here?
Pi and 104 definitely have to get onto some garrison cleanup. They have to know they have a garrison on the either on the pizza or in town, in this spot we were talking about earlier.
Yep, and this is the key play happened right here. Off, already cleared out one. Now I'm going to be going in for a building. Let's see how he clears this up. Mr. Pink's watching that stairwell. Oh, he gets Buddy takes the or goes in, but Buddy with the grease gun is able to clear that stairwell. See that satchel. Checking cap progress. We're at 80% cap. Blue dot starting to get back in, but right now still looks like an advantage there to Pi and 104th, approaching 90%. A heavy spawn wave from that garrison. Just outside the strong point, they're going to have to crash north or to the bottom of your screen. 95%.
They're going to lose that garrison?
It's going to be close.
Oh, yeah. They capped it.
No. Check that. Enough blue players got in with a second. They've got into the north side.
Now going the other way around. They got a last spawn wave in on that northern garrison on the pizza slice, as you call it. And they are now starting to trickle down again into the strong point. This is going to be an exciting game.
And then there it is. Second wave came in. Yep, flipped it over. So, there it is. Just like that.
Wow.
Tank goes down.
Look at this Panther position right here. I'm going to show that on the map. He's all the way 2 squares away. And he's wrecking whoever tries to spawn at that garrison. And I've seen him take down quite a couple of people so far. See those shots landing there? Let's see.
That is a reach out and touch someone shot there.
That is, I love those defensive tank. Like you can be extremely far away and still be effective. And just be a pain in the ass for the other team.
Now we actually have a. Funny enough, we actually got another Panther coming around off the north side there, looking to bail out. Skilled Panda goes down. Yep. So that Panther being aggressive now decides, maybe I don't need to be so aggressive. Let's go ahead and come on back.
I'm seeing a lot of blue players trickling in here. Yep.
Blue right now with monos is Pi and 104th. That's they just took the cap. So we've had 2 middle point exchanges within the first 15 minutes of the match. I'm taking a look down here at Cemetery. Look out though. I'm gonna flip this over. Cemetery now Pi and 104th are your orange dots, and Cemetery actually has a squad size force down here. From Pi and 104th that are controlling the strong point. No cap check that. Cap progress has started. Pi and 104th getting playing that south side might be able to chain together some quick 2 caps here. 38th and 91st are boxed out of the strong point. Look at the dispersion there from 104th. Different people breaking up each one of those different walls, different lines of sights. Key engagement happening down here as he's dead. Birch Strange. I could get that one. I could do that one. Goes down, and Dostenberg trying to cover on that south side. 38th and 91st reacting. We did see one possibly coming on the north side. Looks like he was taken down while we were looking to the south there by Spackman. A couple other defenders coming on the north. Cap progress 40% towards Pi. And 104th. And let's see. Let's look some clan tags. This looks actually like Pi leading this attack.
They need to get a spawn in now.
Yep. 60%.
They've overextended in town for sure.
60% towards Pi and 104th on their way to get chained 2 quick caps within minutes of each other. And now they're getting more and more spawns there for 38th and 91st. So that squad, good times might be coming to an end as 38th and 91st put Pop Smoke, Broken Arrow, need more help. It's going to react. Our Valiant Attacker is going down. Good thing they're in the graveyard, but easy to bury those bodies.
Oh yeah, they are starting to fight back. They have a garrison that's pretty close. It's quite open, so I'm guessing if any recon tanks or vehicles in general happen to roll by, that garrison's gonna go down. It's right on like it is visible from the cemetery.
Ooh, and Paydor's been doing a good amount. Oh, as soon as I say it, don't say a player's name because he dies. Spackman, he cleared up that backside. He's now cleared the corner. He's the last defender left in. Let's see how the life and death of Oh, he's dead.
Oh, take a look at this. I think that garrison's gonna go down if Snake happens to chance upon it. Let's see. The garrison is right here, by the way. There it is. It's by that node. You can see the supply. So I wonder if he's gonna push behind here. This is a really good flank by him. Is he gonna build an OP? There's no one here. Come on, Snake. Do your infiltration sneaking mission. He's being very cautious. OP. Still waiting. He's got his watch out.
Very sneaky. He's very sneaky.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go ahead.
Yeah, go.
Flip over this because so far, the Pi 104's armor has just been everywhere on this map. So now we're actually to the southeast of Hospice, and these 2 Panthers are just rolling around like a couple guys. Actually gonna get an AT shot there, but that was not the same Panther. Meanwhile, the infantry hears that AT shot and Offbeat takes him down. So those Panthers in front of the point. They're now going to retreat. Great mobility, not staying in one point for long unless they're at distance, practicing that social distancing. Hospice, solidly in control of Pi at 104th. We do have an OP. Check that. Maybe that was just destroyed over here by Larch. Ragnar filling it out over this way. The game it motto. Let's go ahead and flip it over to you as this looks like it was just cleared out. Hospice is secure.
Yeah, Snake wasn't waiting for his OP to be up. He was waiting for supplies to be dropped. And as soon as he built the garrison, he got shot, and that garrison was taken out by the allies. Now, that to me was kind of a mistake. You don't want to drop supplies too close. It wouldn't have worked anyway. That garrison would have been too close to their allied garrison to be able to ever go off red. But yeah, it's I want them to find that garrison. They just need to push on that side, down on the southeast side here. But they seem to be, there's a house squad here that has an OP, and they're all pushing straight into cemetery. I guess they might think they have a garrison on the point, and that's why they're not pushing. But they need to realize, yeah, look at that. He got shot from there. He has to see all the infantry that's crawling all over there and figure out that they have a garrison. Right now, yeah, House Squad is the only one that really has a flanking position. They're dropping supplies again. Maybe this time they'll be able to set up a garrison there. Hopefully that works, because I love seeing red zone garrisons be used.
Yeah. Well, and let's flip this over here, because then we're going to take a look at the cemetery. Cemetery defense, 38th and 91st had a little bit of a oh shit moment as Squad from Pi tried to get this quick cap, but it didn't quite happen. So let's take a look at kind of the best ways to attack Cemetery as we're seeing this play out right now. So pulling out my handy dandy little John Madden pen here. We'll go ahead and pull that out. So if you're Orange or Pi 104th, the best way that I like to attack and come in is really coming through this north side, using these buildings over here, getting up into this wall, and then from that point, you really just try to control both these sides here, and essentially, well, a little long there, getting to crossfire into the shot. Also, what you could do, which is actually what we see, is come over this hedge and come up there. There's some good concealment, not a lot of cover, a lot more cover on the north side, but some good concealment coming from that south side. The other way, and this is where it's a little bit more risky because you wind up separating your troops, is using this cornfield down here and doing that short hop over this one. We did see 38th and 91st have, that's really where their defenses came in, but that's the main areas. Other than that, man, there's just so much open area here to the west. You're not going to go there. You're not really going to cross any of this space here. You got to go for those orange lines. So that's the point. We're now approaching 25 minutes. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a resource check here, Mono. Pull up the side-by-sides. Let's see how the resource advantage is going, because 38th and 91st, I think, have made a mistake. They have 0 generation of resources happening right now. 72 ammunition. Meanwhile, if we look over to Pi, what's Pi's ammunition at there, Mono?
For 70, they do have all their garrisons in a very conservative spot. They could move those up, but I guess they figure it's not really necessary right now.
Yeah. Well, let's stick on resources here. So
we got an airhead. We got an airhead coming in on a backside of Cemetery with some tank support as well. Wow! And that garrison, I think we missed it. I think we missed the satchel. Bad news.
No.
Yeah, because the node
I'm walking away.
was gone. The garrison was gone, and there were people, body parts all over. So I think we missed a really good satchel there.
Now I'm gonna have to tell Pi that they need to give me any indication that a satchel is about to go off. That's just not happening. But meanwhile, we got the airhead, and we're right now looking at Mono screen. This is Pi and 104th assaulting in blue. Here was the bottom line of the resources. 38th and actually, I just realized I messed up on the orange. So the 38th and 91st do not have any resources. They are out of tanks. They're essentially out of ammunition. They have no manpower. This is all but done for them right now. As far as the attrition effect, it is done.
Yeah. We have seen some teams, hold off to the very end with absolutely 0 resources. This guy going for the airhead, is that airhead still up? They do have a red zone Gary here, but it's not active at the moment. Let's see if Loki... Ooh, Loki, dangerously close. Is he going to take that garrison? I think he is. Lo-fi, sorry, not Loki.
See, I'm not the only one. All right, we're doing a little quick flight on there. So cap progress. Dead. Yep, cap progress now. 1/3 of the way for Pi at 104th. Look at our defenders here now on my screen. Defenders are now in blue. They're swarming to the south, but all that force coming from the north side. Let's go ahead and check this in here. This is Spackman. We saw him earlier running down that avenue. I do love this fight right here. That kind of little side of the cemetery. Gemini holding it tight. It's gonna be approaching Spackman. Spackman, oh, he goes for the hop and Spackman makes him pay. Spatial comes up on the side of him, or Pascal, sorry. Comes up on the side, but cap progress has stalled as the defenders from the south have cleared the strong point area. However, the push is still on from the north.
Yeah, there's 2 Panthers working together here down on the south side. absolutely wrecking the defenders. The defenders had committed like 12 guys to fighting these Panthers. They are slowly trying to surround them. Equilibri here walks into Medina.
Yeah, are those two-man crew two-man crew Panthers working together there?
Those are two-man crew Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen them all game, just back and forth at distance. You know, they were up high. I saw them a little bit high on Hospice. We saw them on the southeast of Hospice. Just while this fight's going on, I'm going to let you know that there is not a single 38th, 91st individual that's even near Hospice right now. So Hospice is 100% secure. All action is at the cemetery. And speaking of action, now we've got more attacks happening as Pine 104th now have secured all of the cemetery proper. They are regaining cap progress with those individuals in the strong point. All defenders are outside of the cemetery area, but still in the active sector. And we're approaching right around 40%. Let's see this squeeze coming out here. Offbeat versus Sergeant Gunra.
104 is...
Sergeant Gunra artilleried. Peak miss. Offbeat. Feeling pretty good about that.
104 is now completely in map control. They control the entire front line. And they are just slowly trickling in, slowly gaining control of cemetery. Without really pushing too hard, there's a lot of squads still up north defending the borders of Hospice.
Well, look at this.
And just denying any presence.
Yeah, there's that Panther you talked about earlier. I don't think he saw those three squeeze over there to the left, but artillery's been on there. Panthers have been over there. It's a bloodbath right now for 38th and 91st.
That that they had on the cornfield is now gone. I don't know if the Panther got it or Offbeat got it with the AT gun. But they are slowly taking out their spawn points and just, pushing them off cemetery. Very precise, very good and coordinated map control by 104th and Pi.
Well, and 38th and 91st, I think, is going to be killing themselves. At least I know the commander right now is a Banemeister. He's got nothing. He's got nothing. He's got no commander abilities, ammunition for that. They can't spawn tanks. They've lost cemetery at this point, especially with update 9. This is not a good situation, especially with an hour left to take Crossroads.
5 minutes ago, or a bit less, I saw they were already ferrying 104th. That is, they already have a supply truck on cemetery, dropping supplies for a garrison, going into the attack on Crossroads. Setting up another attack garrison as fast as possible. Maybe they will drop some supplies for a red zone Gary. It's being driven by a squad leader, so big potential there. And he's just moving in unopposed, completely unopposed.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get some side-by-side map action here as we look at the transition for the points. So,
here's the support truck I was talking about. He dropped supplies here for this garrison. Now he's moving towards the edge of the map. Is he going to drop supplies here or on red zone? My guess is he's going on red zone because Crossroads. That can be a tough point to attack from.
Remember, you can't do
straight on.
You can't do a red zone garrison in the headquarters sector.
Oh, you're right. Dude. I always forget that. I always drop my supplies, and
That's okay. That's why you got me, right? It's funny. Yeah. I had two people message me over over this weekend, but hey, Inshon, you're the one that would know this. How much manpower does the commander lose on pod death? Random hell let loose trivia. Apparently, when you broadcast and you run a podcast, you know a few things so too, or you can more importantly, fool everybody. But we do see this defense from 38th and 91st. They had one garrison down. Obviously, they got the headquarters garrisons at the 10-second spawn. One on the north side. They do relatively have good south map control. Looking ahead here from Pi 104th, I want to actually highlight, look at their resource nodes. So if you could actually zoom in on that for me, Mono.
On this?
Yeah, I want to highlight this as far as a strategy. So notice that they built the resource nodes in the second sector right away. And here's what you saw this from Exodus. They're able to do a quicker run with the supply truck back and forth, hence generate resources quicker. Also, you know, their plan at the beginning wasn't necessary. And this we might need them on the comms here afterwards, but they did not play for strong point control first. Essentially, played for the counterattack, which this meant it was great. It was all the way in the back. It's safe. It's effective, and you know, it generates. You just get them knocked out early, and it's helped out where 38th and 91st went straight in on the attack and really forgot about those nodes, which has just been detrimental to them. Taking us to the attack right now, Crossroads is now a full-on engagement straight from point to cemetery. You talk about our dueling Panthers. We need a nickname for these guys, Mono. What are we going to call these Panthers?
The Steel Couple? No.
I was going to say the Wonder Twins. Like, I'm trying to think, like, because these Panthers have just been working together side by side. And look
the Metal Maniacs.
The Metal Maniacs. Okay. The dueling duo. Yeah. I like something a little bit more limited. But look how they're working with their infantry here. They moved up, got suppression, infantry came in behind them. Yes, we see this one AT player that surprisingly went up straight on the road, but don't expect him to work hard. Takes a shot, actually gets 2 shots on the back. Kiwi takes him down from behind. What is Kiwi? I'm thinking Australian. What is Australia doing over here? And Cap sector, oh, that's, I hate to see it.
Bombing run down on Crossroads, and this is gonna be very hard for them to be,
Look at this.
They're gonna get overwhelmed really soon.
Panthers moved up, infantry bounded up, now Panthers are moving up again, getting direct pressure. Doing duo number 1, the Metal Mania.
We were doing the side by side, dude. I was surprised to see that the defensive team was not pushing as far west as they could, right? They were already holding up on Crossroads, and you want to keep pressure on the attack. Without pressure on the attack, that's you invite them into your door, basically.
And what we're seeing right now is timing. Timing is just Pi and 104th are showing their experience in competitive environments. You had it at the very beginning, even the warm-up period. Using those 2 minutes to build those defensive positions, playing a different strategy, going for the counterattack on Hospice, playing map control, and timing here. Infantry working with these Panthers. Notice the Panther now going around the backside. Cap progress 50% towards Pi and 104. This one might be a little bit quicker. 91st is the season, the administrative hosts hosting the Summer Cup. I guarantee you, this is not what they had in mind, but they're gonna go out fighting. We see a 191st member trying to make his presence known on the rear. That Panther's got some mobility. 1 AT rocket goes by. He's doing the ballet. He's doing the ballet. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh, he actually... Alright, well that's going on. Cap progress, 80%. And that could be it, as this Panther might, actually go down. No, Nerd take shell ricochets. Panther might survive to the end. Is he gonna save by the bell? Heavy garrison spawn wave for 38th, but it's gonna be too little too late. As Pi and 104th secure it. 5-0, great showing by the defending 104th champions. Yeah, I was gonna say we can give commanding or commendation to somebody. We'll go ahead and give it to Soxes. The Soxes organizing the tournament. God knows I could give him 10%, give him a little love there. But looking at 38th, let's see. Top squad was Snake, infantry squad here at 5. We'll get a chance. I want to see.
There's our free experience.
that's the developer saying, well, thank you for commentating. Once again, you can see how bad of a player I am. 0 combat score. I didn't even get out there. But let's go ahead and take a look here. Who were our tankers? Who was our Panthers on that one? Did you remember their names?
Yes. No, actually.
Then we got
Actually, no. Yeah, dude, too many names to remember.
Yeah.
And I think they have left the server, actually.
yeah, they're gonna go on that one. It's always good to try to find the names out, but
yeah, Option Squad, Respect, and Handstand, and Hans Steiger. And the other tank squad, I'm not finding it. I think it was Charlie Squad, but they are, there's only one of them there. Yeah.
Well,
but
we're back to our shining faces here. This one was definitely not what 38th and 91st wanted.
Yeah.
Let's give a little credit first off to Pi and 104th. We talked about the tail end. Setting up that defense at the beginning. Played. I don't know if it was originally their intent to play the south side of Hospice. Or if that was a decision on the move, knowing that Cemetery was next up. It worked out perfectly for them, especially getting that kind of quick cap progress. They didn't get it right away after taking Hospice, but it definitely forced the 38th not to be able to get on a counterattack quickly for them. Some good battles back and forth, but ultimately those Panthers, man, working together. Individual gunplay, it really comes basically out of that. I saw a lot of the engagements go towards favor of Pi and 104th, putting themselves in the right positions. But man, 38th and 91st, man, you got to get those resources. You got to get them up and running. I think that was one of the key determinations why those Panthers made so much presence in the second half of this game and why this was a 30-minute match is they just ran out of resources.
They definitely knew. It's always great to see those tanks being used defensively. In this game, as I was talking about earlier, we saw them in Hospice way back, somewhere where no threats were going to be able to take them on from the sides or from behind, just showing their front to an enemy that's 300 meters away, 400 meters away, and wrecking that enemy with MG and HE rounds, right? And then, so they played defensively when they knew that, getting into town with the tank is basically a death sentence because any good AT guy is going to get you. So, when they moved on to Cemetery, then they went on to the attack on that south side where you were talking. It's not a good good spot for the infantry to be because there's a lot of open terrain, and they were focus firing that cornfield, right? Where
it's not a good spot for infantry, but it's a great spot when you got two Panthers on each side of you, just throwing down, MG 34 fire. Is that correct? This is the best thing about being live on the internet is people will let you know when you make a mistake. But anyway, MG fire just and it just cleared a path for that infantry to come in. There was also artillery happening on that cornfield also. So
I think there was a mistake from 38th on. At one point, I swear I saw like 14 people trying to focus down those Tigers, trying to wrap around those Tigers and be able to, basically AT them from behind.
Yep.
Big mistake there, I think, was constructive criticism here, not using smoke. If you had, people throwing smoke at those Panthers, you don't really take them out, but you make their life a bit more miserable, right? They can't really see where they're firing.
You mitigate their effectiveness.
Yes, exactly. So when you have two tanks like that completely wrecking your team, you need to, if you're not being able to close the distance and get them down, shoot some rockets into them, you need to at least obstruct their line of view and make it uncomfortable for them. Because with enough smoke, you can't see really anywhere around. And any experienced tanker is just going to say, you know what, let's get out of here. Let's reposition because we're going to get destroyed, right? So I think they panicked. They were losing the point. They didn't really know how to deal with the situation there. But smoke can be extremely effective in something, when you're dealing with something like that.
I agree. In fact, we didn't see a lot of smoke from either one of the teams, but I think that's a great point. that if you don't have a counter armor, granted it's a kind of, it's not just one thing. That's one thing I love about the competitive nature of Hell Let Loose is a mistake or an opportunity builds upon an opportunity. A mistake builds upon a mistake. I wish I would have gone back. I'm going to go throw credit. Maybe they built their nodes in the middle sector, and then when they lost the middle sector, they just never got back to the, hey, we need to build these nodes again. But you're right. Didn't have armor to counter the Panthers. Infantry knew they were getting slaughtered about it. They had no other options except send bodies, go at it. I think this is great about competitive teams. 38th and 91st will learn from this. They'll learn from this. They'll come back up. We'll see who they face. Once again, this is a Swiss system, so we don't know who they're going to face next week. It'll be somebody else also that was 0-5, which should allow those two teams to take these lessons learned, make them lessons applied. Meanwhile, Pi and 104th comes out with a statement opening to the Summer Cup, and I think picks up right where they left off of the Greyhound Cup. Combined arms, armor going to effective, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the Summer Cup with what it has to bring. Mono, before we close out of here, any final thoughts, moments, things you want to highlight?
Final thoughts, I guess. I wish I would have seen we would have seen a bigger fight for the south side of the town. Once 38 lost Hospice, they tried to attack from the north side, right? They had a couple of garrisons there, which is good, but it's really hard to get from there to Hospice because there's so much open field for the Allies. On the German side, there's more trees, there's like more hedgerows. It's better, right? On the Allied side, it's very barren. You have some houses at like 200 meters away, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yep.
When I'm playing Allied, especially if I get the points like that, Hospice and Cemetery, I find the best way is securing Cemetery by going, straight into town from Cemetery and then pushing up north into Hospice. Because when you push up north into Hospice, you can get around on the left side, on that German side, which is, it offers fairly decent cover. And
do you want to pull up? I did give you this. I did give the strat sketch link. Do you want to click on that? We'll point it here.
Okay. Definitely.
Talking like a dad. You're doing the dad hand movements. Okay. See, well, you're over here, and you got to go over here.
Like a mime.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's pull up the strat sketch here.
Yeah.
And we'll get you permission.
Permission to draw, sir.
Yep. This is the fun of, look at that, you're already editor. All right, so go ahead.
Okay. So this was controlled by the by Pi 104th.
Correct.
So, and 38 had, the typical, like around here or around here, I want to say that they had a garrison there. And they were trying to get in through here onto Hospice. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen against a good team. They had a Panther right here, and this Panther was effectively shutting down this entire area, right?
Yep.
Now,
but remember, he also we did see his other Panther playing a little bit closer up there too. So there was two. That was the operating area for those Northern Panthers working well. Go ahead.
What I would have done is, if you get some stuff around Cemetery this way, or maybe some these are garrisons, by the way. You get your defenses. You hold up in Cemetery, and you start doing this with the team, right? You start pushing into town like this, and trying to get around because the Germans, 100% sure, are going to have a garrison around. Oh, that didn't come out as expected. Around this area right here, or around the northern side right here. That's going to be the case, and that was the case for, in this match. So
I'm going to add one arrow on that. You have to make sure you don't split your forces and allow them to move in. So that one arrow, you still got to keep kind of control of that road and those buildings on there. But point made.
Yeah, because the problem is they didn't have this, right? I'm gonna shut this off. They were pushing in from here, and once this gets taken down, the rest of the team has to fall. Like whoever was here, like 2 or 3 squads, whatever, need to fall back, and they fell back to the garrison that was around here. Yeah, I want to say that's correct, or maybe it was here. I'm not sure. I think it was around here, not 100%. But then they have to go all the way, back from here into cemetery, and that gives time for the enemy to put pressure in. If you never stop, if you never let off the pressure, if you're already doing this as you're losing hospice, then it becomes much harder. Yep. And if you're aware, if you have a recon team or anything patrolling around this backside, so you don't get a surprise airhead, or some sneaky truck going in and placing some attack garrison, this effectively puts them on the defense, or at least a considerable part of their forces on defense. And then you can get a garrison on church, and you can attack from there. Because church, again, if you put a Gary on church, the 100-meter radius is actually quite large. I'm sorry, it works in your favor because church being so far away from pretty much anything.
You got about 50 meters. Just half of it is road and opening, but
exactly. Or you can put one here or somewhere around there, and then sustain a better attack from there. I think, I think keeping the pressure up from the north, not the way. I'm repeating myself, but this puts pressure on hospice. Attacking from the south here, defense cemetery while getting pressure on hospice.
And let me go ahead and kind of summarize this up here a little bit, or say it in a different way. The competitive teams that wind up moving into the placement ranks win the meat grinder. They they love the meat grinder, and because really what it is as they push through those points. And granted, I don't mean just running on the same road, but essentially run that point to point. They like a snowplow. They shove the other team out of the active sectors, and that active sector, once they clear out of that, it winds up winning. But great analysis, Mono. Let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I do want to say the individual point of view streams didn't quite work out for us. They had them actually on a 15-minute delay, so it was desynced from our admin cam. Hence why I didn't flip through those a little too much. We'll work with the teams on that coming up. If you do have any suggestions, things that you would like to see off the admin cam, Mono and I were just talking about this before the pre-show. Hey, people commenting back. They want to see this, just on this. Just as these teams are working on the strategy, especially with Update 10 coming, with the whole different change to meta, we're working on bringing you a better broadcasting experience and highlighting everything that the competitive HL scene has. So make sure in Mono's comments, put them down below. I don't do the whole YouTube thing, Mono. It's like, subscribe, thumbs up. I don't know how does that little phrase go? Hit me one time.
The at the end of the video.
Yeah, you're like, hey, look, click the like below. I don't do that.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and
as always, comment. Yeah, I don't do that. I mean, this is gonna be on your channel, so I'm basically roasting your channel right now. But no,
this is a kind of a secret for me. But that part, the like subscribe and like, I always go like, how did I say this in every single video? I always forget, dude. I have to write it down and read it because I always forget the exact phrase that I say at the end.
Yeah. So with that said, I think we've beaten that in there. Definitely keep informed on Mono. Every time I co-host, I make sure he gets the VOD, puts it up there. If you want to keep updated any of competitive events that I broadcast here, go ahead and hit up my Twitch. Yeah, that's about as shameless plug as I'm going to do. But more importantly, back to it. Put the comments down there. That's the best way. We do read them all. Best way to incorporate them in there. Get the right perfection of the admin cam. Bring it to you guys. So with that said, check out week 2. Remember Swiss system. So we're going to see who rose to the top. Who's got a redemption round coming up on the next one. Week 2 Summer Cup will be live next week, and we'll catch you then. Take care.
See you guys.